Thank you so much for coming back to Jake's Face Reacts. I feel like I didn't do a good enough job explaining this, so we're gonna spend about 2 weeks because you have no idea how long it's taking me to edit. I didn't think about how long the editing process would take for me when I'm editing a video that contains 5 or 6 videos in it, if that makes sense. Like it's a lot of time. But I've put a time limit. I have 2 weeks. I feel like I need to explain again the process that I came up with for honoring Eurovision 2020. So I randomly drew all of the countries into 6 groups. Some had 5 countries, some have 6. The way that the process works is that at the end of each video, I pick my favorite, which is going to be so horribly difficult for me because I hate doing that. Oh no. But that country that I pick will go to one semifinal, and then you'll have the chance to vote for 24 hours after the video is posted for the country in the group that I did not pick that you like the most, and the country you pick will go into the other semifinal. So we'll have our semifinals filled over the course of this week. I want to thank you guys because I know spending, over 30 minutes with me in a video is crazy. But they send me all like sorts of statistics and stuff, and I feel like the normal viewer watches a video for maybe a minute, and on my group 1 reaction, you guys were hanging in there with me for like over half an hour. That's crazy. And I don't know why you do it, but I'm so incredibly thankful and so humbled, as always, by your support. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera. I still see the shape of Kentucky on my head. God, please tell me that's going to go away. Like, that has to go away, right? It has to go away. Anyway, we already completed group 1, okay? From group 1, I picked my favorite, which was Malta. They went into semifinal 1. You picked your favorite out of the countries that were left, and that put Australia in semifinal 2. Now, at least the one I pick and the one you pick are going to automatically qualify, and then at the very end, we'll have sort of a showdown for the country that has the highest percentage of votes from all of the groups will also get to advance to the semifinals because we have to fill that last spot. I am, even though, and I hope it's not controversial, but I forgot that I already did a full reaction video randomly to Russia after the Big 5 and the host. And so, like, with the amount of views and responses that I've gotten to the Russia video, they were going to qualify for the semifinal. So they're going to go in semifinal 1. And we'll move on from there, okay? I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to stop talking now so that we can get down to what's important, and that is finishing out Eurovision 2020. Like I said, I'm going to go for 2 weeks. We'll have our own Eurovision. It'll be a blast. I haven't heard any of these, so we'll get to experience it for the first time. And then after the 2 weeks is up, we're moving on. Like, I'm so excited. We're moving on to Eurovision 2021. There's already countries I know that have selected, but I'm not watching or reacting to them until these 2 weeks are done and we've finished out 2020, because I want to keep my word, to all of you and to myself. After everything that I've been through, that I can keep my word, and I'm strong enough because of all of you to be able to do this. So thank you. We are in group 2 now. In group 2, here are the countries that are competing in group 2. Finland, Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, Lithuania, and Belgium. You were sending an artist, I don't know if it's an act, an artist, a group, Axel, and Looking Back is the name of the song. Okay. Let's go, Finland. Moroccan oil. Oh, it's one thing to put a song out for Eurovision. It's another to put a song out that really reaches through, that screen and sort of connects with you on a personal level. And I don't have to tell all of you what I've been through in my personal life and who I've lost. I'm so lucky to have you because you know my story. You know that I was going to connect to that before you even watched me react to it. And it's so true. And if I've learned anything, not just in dealing, with the aftermath of the suicide of my only brother, but in 2020, like for all of us, with all the COVID and all of my pretty major health issues that are still ongoing, it's that you really have to live in the moment, and you've really got to appreciate what you have, because in any instant, it can all be gone, and all you're left with, like he said, is trying to look back, and you can't go back. You can never go back. All you can do is look back and regret the things, that you didn't do, that you wish that you would have done. I'm trying not to get emotional, but Finland, like, just thank you. I love the fact that the staging was so simple but so effective, and it worked with that song, because all of the staging, talking about red lights and doing that, like everything correlated. He didn't have to run all around the stage. I don't even think he moved or took a step, but he didn't have to, because the staging matched what he was singing about, and it connected on like a heart level. You know what I mean? It had good builds throughout it. It had, his vocals were strong. I'm not going to say that they were the strongest I've ever heard in Eurovision, because that's not true, but Eurovision isn't about strong vocals all the time, really, if you think about it. Do I think it's as strong as the past 2 years? I don't think so. Do I think that it would have advanced to the semifinals? Yes. And then it would have been interesting to see, how it was going to be staged. Because one thing about Cyprus is that they spend a lot of money on the music videos, right? They don't have a national final. They just select someone, and then I feel like they kind of put all that money towards the music video, and their music videos have been so strong these past few years, including that one with the imagery where he was, like his body was had like the flames of fire that he was singing about that were taking over. That was so cool. And I enjoyed it, Cyprus. I did. Please let me know in the comments if he's still going, if someone else is for 2021. I don't know. It makes me sad though, because I wanted to see how that would have been staged. Oh well. I love you, Cyprus. Peace. We are to the third country in group number 2, and that is Poland. So Poland, Eurovision 2020, you were going to send, look, the artist is, I'm going to say Alicia. I don't know, because it has like a J in a weird spot, but I'm going to call her Alicia. And the song is Empires, plural, because Poland, they're not all about just one empire, singular. They're about empires, plural. How much I loved Tulia last year, and how much I think they were robbed for not being able to advance. I mean, that was such I don't know. I felt like Poland was robbed last time. And my opinions change with every country every year, because I have to be fair and I have to be objective every year, or what's the point of the channel, right? So let's react to Alicia, Eurovision 2020 from Poland. Her song was Empires. Poland. Okay. Love that you were going to send a song with a strong message. It was about global warming, right? How we all want everything, but we don't realize the cost the impact that's having on our planet. I mean, I'm with you like a bazillion %,000% on that. And it was such a beautifully composed song and a beautifully orchestrated song. I love that the choruses, even though they had the same lyrics, the first one was more traditional. The second one, though, pulled the traditional instrumentation out, and it was really staccato with just the strings and stuff. That was cool. Her vocals were amazing. You know what I'm gonna say, Poland, and that's that I wish that it was at least in some Polish, because you know, I love when countries use their, you know, own language in Eurovision, and especially yours. Um, you have to let me know in the comments if, you know, Alicia is still gonna get to go for Poland in 2021. You know, I feel strongly that all of these artists should be given a chance, because it'd be so unfair to get robbed of that opportunity, right? Um, so I love you, Poland. Peace. Okay, our fourth country up in Group 2 is going to be Serbia. What I love about Serbia in Eurovision is that you always stick so true to your traditional roots and to your culture. And yeah, I don't know where you find the incredible vocalist that you always find for Eurovision, but you always do. And it's always, you know, sort of a mix of contemporary, but more leaning towards, you know, your own cultural vibes and in your own language. And that's what I love so much. Okay, oh dear, and now I'm seeing a couple of things. So the artist, I don't know, was Hurricane. I mean, I lived through 6 of those this past year, so yeah, it was kind of a nightmare. And the song is Hasta la Vista, so okay, that's Spanish, obviously. That's not in Serbian. Let's go, Serbia. Well, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. What is happening?
Jedan, dva, tri I kraj. Odbrojano je znaj. Ruke uvijek znak. Opet si sa njom, opet si sa njom. Zbog tebe nemam sna. Tišina ubija. Ostaćemo ti I ja. Razim pogleda, ti bez srca ja. Mada ponekad sam malo crazy, a sa mnom nikad nije osobno u vezi. A ti uvijek biraš pogrešno sebi. Sada ljubavi uzmi ili ostavi. Hasta la vista, baby. Imam novi plan. Hasta la vista, baby. Jasno kao dan, jasno kao dan. Kaži mi hvala, što sam te volela. Na tebe tako pala, ma sorry što nisam ti se dobala. Hasta la vista, baby.
Shot. What's happening?
I kraj, odbrojano je znak. Ruke uvisna moj znak. Opet si sa njom, opet si sa njom. Zbog tebe nemam sna. Tišina ubija. I nije ovo svijeta. U ljubavi to je cute but psycho. Mada ponekad sam malo crazy, a sa mnom nikad nije dosadno u vezi. Uvijek biraš pogrešno sebi. Sada ljubavi uzmi ili ostavi. Hasta la vista, baby. Imam novi plan. Hasta la vista, baby. Jasno kao dan, jasno kao dan. Kaži mi hvala, što sam te volela. Na tebe tako pala, ma sorry što nisam ti se dobala. Hasta la vista, baby. Da, milom ili silom želim da dam ti se, pa neko prinese se ti I ja na opadima ludila kad sviram kraj. Hasta la vista, baby. Imam novi plan. Hasta la vista, baby. Jasno kao dan, jasno kao dan. Kaži mi hvala, što sam te volela. Na tebe tako pala, ma sorry što ti se dobala. Hasta la vista, baby. 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 Hasta la vista, baby.
First of all, y'all had me fooled, right? Because you knew the whole time I was sitting there talking in the intro about, you know, oh, Serbia sends so, you know, traditional sounding music. Y'all knew what I was about to hear, and y'all knew I wasn't prepared for that. And you didn't warn me. I'm still not really sure of what even just happened. I don't know if this is real life. Um, so basically, Serbia was like, okay, so maybe you didn't like our standard, power vocalist ballads. So here's something different. And it was something different, all right. You sent like a mix between like like if Little Mix and the Pussycat Dolls, like somehow were like morphed into one and became a Serbian girl group. That's what we just saw. I wasn't prepared for it. It still did have some traditional instrumentation, like when it brought in the really heavy brass sections there towards the end of each chorus. But that was like, I'm still kind of in shock. It just like that was like a lot, Serbia. Like in a good way, I think. I think. I think. I haven't heard anything else like that so far. Um, Obviously, let me know if they're still gonna go. But what would that staging have been like? We were so robbed, man. Like, we were so robbed. That was like shocking, just because it was not what I was expecting from Serbia at all. But that's the beauty of Eurovision, right? Is that like every single year, any country can send whoever and whatever they choose to send. Um, that's the beauty of it. And I never would have thought Serbia would send something like that, but I have to admit, I have a feeling the images like from the video were so strong, and the chorus was it was so catchy that that's going to be in my head for like the next like 2 weeks probably, and that's a good sign. You would have advanced, I have no question about that, to the semifinals. And God, I would have loved to have seen how that was staged. Like I'm still a little bit in shock. Like that's gonna like again like I'm officially shooketh, and I need some time to be able to continue before that, because it's like it just went from like 60 degrees in here to like 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and I don't know what that is centigrade. I forgot that we're like one of the only countries that still uses Fahrenheit to measure temperature. Anyway, random. Serbia, that was shocking in a good way. I don't even. I'm gonna just stop. I don't even. I can't say anything else about it. Like what the. Like. Oh my god. Like holy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna Serbia. I love you. Peace. I just need a few seconds to just cool back down. All right. Thank you. All right, we are on our next to last country from Group 2, Eurovision 2020. This is Lithuania. I love you, Lithuania, and you know why. We don't have to have that conversation. Wait, okay, so wait, stop. Wait. Stop. Okay, I'm having like out of body experience moment right now. So the artist is the Roop. But here's the weird, like, what is happening right now? So there are a couple of pretty major music festivals that happen in Austin, in Texas each year, and I'm pretty sure at one of them, South by Southwest, I think, a couple of years ago, I saw the Roop. I saw them in Texas in concert. That can Is it the same? Surely it has to be the same. It's like a bald guy. I don't know, but their show was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen, and I was here for like every single second of the weirdness. So my mind right now is just really like all over the place, because I'm seeing the name The Roop. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same. How many groups or whatever are there out there called The Roop? I don't think there's many. The song is On Fire. I don't recognize that. So, oh my god, if this is the same group, that's gonna be crazy. All right, let's go, Lithuania.
I'm a human, not a stone. I can make a change and go wherever I
Yeah.
They told me maybe I'm too
This
old.
is so
but
weird.
There's fire in my soul.
Woo!
The heat is getting higher. I feel that I'm on fire. This is my desire.
This is so weird. I've seen
I feel
them.
that I'm on fire. There's no doubt I'm strong enough to reach the state I've dreamed of. It's gonna happen. I will do what I can just to be a better man.
Muy bien.
The heat is getting higher.
Oh my God.
I'm on fire.
Woo!
The world is my desire. I feel that I'm on fire.
Chorus?
Can't believe it took so long to take an action and move on.
Oh, I love his voice.
No one can stop me. Through the clouds there comes the sun, and I'm ready for some fun. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
This is so good. Oh, bridge. That's cool.
The world is my desire. I feel that I'm on fire.
Woo-hoo.
The heat is getting higher.
Lithuania, how bizarre is it that I've seen the rope? That is really weird. Like in Texas, I saw the rope and you picked them to go to Eurovision. Oh my God. I really hope that they're still going in 2021. If the roop is not going for Lithuania, I'm gonna be so heartbroken because when I saw them lot in Austin at South by Southwest, I was like, this is like some of the weirdest that I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and I love it. Like, I love every second of it, and it's so weird because I think some groups or artists that want to go to Eurovision sort of have to compromise some of who they are and a little bit of their own sound and their, to be able to sort of fit the mold, to be chosen or selected to represent their country. But the group didn't change like a single thing. That's who they are. Like, that's who they are. That song was so catchy. The staging was incredible. What a loss. In addition to everything else that was bad about 2020, like, these performances, this would have been such an incredible Eurovision. Oh man, I'm still in shock that it's a group that I've seen, and there were only 100 people in there, I think, like 100 people, and I was one of them, and I saw them or him. It's so weird. Okay, all right, Lithuania. I wish we could have seen that so much, but I'm still kind of just in shock that you picked the group and I hope they're going in 2021. Oh, okay. I love you, Lithuania. Peace. We made it to the last country in Group 2. We've seen Finland, Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, Lithuania. Um, and everybody brought something different and unique, and that's why I love and miss Eurovision 2020 so much. Our last country in Group 2 is Belgium. Now, look, let's just have this conversation. I love you, Belgium. For some reason, the past 2 years, like the staging that you provided for your artist has just not been okay. Like I felt like Elliot, his song was maybe not as strong as Cynic's from the year before that, but both of them suffered from staging that was just put them out there on this ginormous stage, and they looked lost on the stage, and it just didn't connect, and it absolutely broke my heart, especially with Cynic, because that was such a good and different sounding song that I thought it should have advanced. But then when you start to see the staging, I'm sort of like, like I don't feel a connection. It's the same with Elliot last year. Love the song, love him. Like he was such a nice person and a talented guy, but when it came down to the staging, it's an example of what can happen. So Belgium in 2020, you were gonna send. I don't know. I'm gonna say the artist because I don't know if it's a group or a person, but it's Hooverphonic, and it looks like the song is "Release Me." Okay. Oh no, I feel like you're not gonna like me after this. Look, I'm gonna start with the positives, like I always try to do. Her voice, is absolutely like amazing and had moments of brilliance throughout that song and throughout that performance. And look, it reminded me somewhat of like Portishead. Portishead was like the first concert that I ever went to with my brother. So if you know our connection to Eurovision, you know how like important and that is. And I think he would love it because of that. But and he also lived in, have we talked about this? Like he lived in Belgium for like 6 months or something like that. He loved it, considered it his home away from home. Um, but for me, it seemed, it was like here all the way through. I felt like Belgium, I feel like you've been in sort of this like weird state where since you sent Blanche and what was that, 20, God, my years are like all bleeding together, 2017 with City Lights, and she did really well, that you've like tried to find something comparable to that every year. And what you need to do is just don't worry, like do what Serbia did, man. Like find something completely different. Because this for me, if I'm being completely honest, as much as I appreciate the beautiful orchestration and sort of the way it was meant, I think, to sound like it could have been a James Bond-ish theme song, like the Adele one, but without Adele. Like I don't think that would be strong enough to connect with the Eurovision audience, and get you through to the semifinals. And I want that for you. I do. But knowing how you stage Cynic and Elliot, and even Blanche's staging was like not all that great. It was better than the other two, and it went with the song. So maybe you would have done that for this, and it would have done fine, and it would have gone on. But when you only have a few minutes, and that felt like it was like 8 minutes long to me, because it just felt like it was so repetitive and so monotonous, that it felt so much longer than 3 minutes, and I kind of like was just waiting for it, at some point to just be over, and that's not a good sign. Like I want every country to do their best, and I don't think that would have been the best for you. I don't know anything about if that's like if Hooverphonic is her or the group, but I think there's huge potential there, to do well in Eurovision, but not with that song and not with that vibe. I love you, Belgium. I do, and I don't. You're going to let me know if Hooverphonic's still going to go. If they are, obviously, and it's a good thing probably that it has to be a different song, and I hope that they take a different approach because, continuing to try to find someone to be and sound and perform like Blanche is not working for Belgium. And I want Belgium to do well. I have a feeling you're going to hate me so much after this, Belgium. And I don't want that, but I have to be honest. Like, part of my channel is, every year I'm honest about your countries, all of them. If I loved every single country every single year, that would make me dishonest. If anything, I love you more because I'm able to actually be honest in this platform, that I have to say, you deserve better, Belgium. You do. And I love you, and I hope that you find better for 2021. All right. Peace. So now we're to the part where I have to choose. Remember, I can only pick one out of this group. Finland, Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, Lithuania, and Belgium. This is like the group of death, man. And I don't, I'm torn between two of them. I'm not going to say which two, because you're still going to get to vote for 24 hours after this is posted in the community part of my YouTube page on your favorites, and the two that you pick are still going to go to the semifinals, so you still get a second and a third pick in addition to the one that I'm picking. But I'm gonna out of this group, out of group 2, I'm gonna pick Lithuania, the group. Hey, I mean, it was crazy, outrageous. I've seen them. The song was good, the staging was epic, and the song is still stuck in my head. Now, the good news is that if you don't agree with my pick for Lithuania, that's fine. You still get 2 more countries out of this group to pick to move on to the semifinals. So for 24 hours on the community section of my YouTube channel, you'll have time to vote for either Finland, Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, or Belgium. The top 2 that you pick will also move on to our Eurovision 2020 semifinals that we're having. This is a lot of fun, and I just appreciate the amount of time that you guys are spending with me, because I know you could be doing so many other things, and I don't ever feel like I deserve or that I've earned your support. But I do want you to know that throughout everything that I've ever gone through, that I'm currently going through, which is a lot, that I never take for granted this opportunity that you have given me and this platform that you've given me. And I just always want to make you proud. So I love you, I really do. Congratulations to Lithuania, my pick, who's going to move on. And vote for your favorite country in group 2. You'll have 24 hours, so vote. The top 2%, the top 2 countries, highest percentages, will also move on to the semifinals. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me, and stay tuned for group 3. Going to be posted soon. Peace. It's a long day. Shit. I don't have headphones on.